Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, let us start. Remember, we have been learning Chapter 6 Secondary Activities of our NCERT textbook, Fundamentals of Human Geography. Today, we shall discuss about factors influencing industrial locations. Now, I shall share my screen. So here, before we start about the discussion on the factors influencing industrial locations in the world, let us analyze about the distribution of industries on the surface of the earth. That is about uneven geographical distribution of industries. So let me show you one map. Just examine this map very carefully. I think you may be seeing black spots, black dots. This represents the location of industrial regions, okay, industrial clusters. I think just see here. Just here you're seeing one very large black spot here and some others also here. Okay, just at different places across the surface of the earth, you'll find okay, location of industries. And now let us discuss about it. So from the map, you will be examine, okay, that major concentration, okay, major concentrations of modern manufacturing industries have flourished in a few number of places. Okay, as you find here. So in few number of places, we find uh, concentration of industries. These industries, okay, cover less than 10% of the world's land area. Industrial clusters, industrial belts cover less than 10% of the world land area. And these nations, these countries have become the centers of economic and political power. That means the countries having concentration of many industries have become the centers of economic and political power. However, in terms of total area covered, manufacturing sites are much less conspicuous and concentrated on a much smaller areas than that of agriculture due to greater intensity of processes. The intensity of processes is much greater in the manufacturing sites as compared to the agricultural fields. For example, here 2.5 square kilometer of American corn belt usually includes about 4 large farms employing only about 10 to 20 workers, supporting 50 to 100 persons only. Okay, 2.5 square kilometer of this American corn belt, that is agricultural field, uh, includes about 4 large farms employing only about 10 to 20 workers, supporting 550 to 100 persons only. But this same area, 2.5 square kilometer, this same area could contain several large integrated factories and employ thousands of workers. If we construct industries here in these 2.5 square kilometers of area, okay, then several integrated factories can be established employing thousands of workers, more than 10,000, 20,000, even reaching up to 15,000 workers. So this is about uneven geographical distribution of industries on the surface of the earth. From this paragraph and from this diagram, we have learned that, okay, we have learned that industries tend to concentrate in the certain places, Then why it is so? Why do large scale industries choose different locations? Why these large scale industries are uh, are not uniformly distributed on the surface of the earth? So we have so many factors influencing the industrial locations. Okay, see, before we start, here some important statements are here. Industries maximize profits by reducing costs, maybe transport costs or maybe production costs. Okay, in the all industries try to maximize the profit by reducing the costs, and therefore industries should be located at the points where uh, production costs are minimum. All industries should be located at the point where the production costs are the minimum. Okay, so this is also known as this least cost theory of industrial location. Okay, just let us see one diagram here. Let's see here. Okay, let us see this one, bigger one. See here in this case. Okay, just here M1. I think you may be seeing here. This is the case of wet lodging industry. Well-housing industry, that means, for example, iron steel industry. Industries using heavy and bulky raw materials, iron ore, then coal. These are known as wet-housing raw materials. And here M1 and the M2, so these are the sources of the raw materials. And here C represents the marketplace. Okay, it represents the marketplace. And here we have the location of the industry. So in case of the wet lodging industry, uh, the factory tends to be pulled towards the sources of the raw material here. Okay, see here in this case, so this is the location of the uh, industry here. This is the location of the industry. And in the case of wet lodging industry, the manufacturing unit is located nearby the source of the raw material to reduce the transportation costs. Okay, just see here. In this case, say 5 tons of raw materials are taken from M1, say for example iron ore, then 3 tons of coal are taken from M2. Since they are very heavy and bulky raw materials, to minimize the transport cost, okay, it is located nearby the source of the raw material, a little away from the marketplace. So in the other case, for the wet gaining industry, that is non-wet lodging industries, here these are the sources of the raw material M1, M2, and this is the marketplace, and here we have the location of the industry. Industry is located here. Okay, so for example, say cotton textile, cotton is a non-wet lodging raw material. So in such cases, the industry is located nearby the marketplace. Okay, the industry is located nearby the big cities, nearby the market. So in this way, industries are located in the places where the transportation cost is the least, and this is also known as least cost theory, developed by Alfred Weber. Any question, boys and girls?
No, sir.
Okay. So now let us start the factors influencing industrial locations. The first one factor is the access to market. Okay, this is one of the most important factor in the location of the industries. Existence of market for manufactured goods is the most important factor. So what do you mean by market? So market here means people who have the demand for these goods and also have the purchasing power. That is, who have the ability to purchase. Okay, that particular commodity. So if there are no market, if people do not like the product, then then the factory, okay, or the industry will be lost. So market is the most important factor uh, for the uh, for the location of industries. And so remote areas inhabited by a few people offer small markets. You know, market means the buyer, the people. So remote villages offer a little market. And whereas the big cities, okay, areas having a large number of population provide a big market. Developed regions of Europe, then North America, Japan, Australia provide a large global market as the purchasing power of these people is very high. So they are developed, highly developed, and the purchasing per capita income is also high, and that is why the purchasing power is also high. So they provide a very good market. And likewise, densely populated regions of South and Southeast Asia also provide large markets. Okay, and some industries like the aircraft manufacturing have global market. Likewise, arms industry also has global markets. Remember, market is one of the most important factor influencing location of industries. Next, we have access to raw material. Okay, so raw material used by the industries should be cheap and easy to transport. The raw material should be cheap to maximize the profit, and transportation cost also should be the least. So industries based on cheap, bulky, and wet losing material, that is ores, are located close to the source of the raw material. Just we have discussed few minutes ago. Okay, industries using bulky and wet losing raw materials are located to the source of the raw material, such as iron steel industry, then sugar industry, then cement industries. Here, perishability is a vital factor for the location of industries. Okay, so if the commodity is highly perishable, okay, then it will be located nearby the source of the raw material. So the raw material, if it is perishable, it will be, the industry should be located nearby the source of the uh, raw material. For example, sugar mills. Okay, sugar mills, if we transport sugarcane for long distances, then the sucrose content of the sugarcane will be reduced. It will be dried up. The juice will be dried up, and hence sugar mills are located nearby the source of the raw material, that is nearby the sugarcane field. Okay, that is why perishability is a vital factor for the location of certain industries. Likewise, this dairy farming also, okay. And so dairy farming, located nearby the marketplace, because this is also highly perishable product. Next, we have this access to labor supply. So labor supply is an important factor in the location of the industry. Some types of manufacturing still require skilled labor. Okay. However, increasing mechanization, then automation, and the flexibility of industrial processes have reduced the dependence of industry upon the labors. Now, some of the large-scale manufacturing are automated. Okay, they are highly mechanized. Automation is there. Okay, robotics are used. Then for designing certain products also, computers are used, artificial intelligence, all these are used. And the demand of labor in certain industries decreases, but still some industries are there where skilled labor is still required. And to maximize our profit, we need cheap and skilled labor. Okay. And that is why in some industries are located nearby the places where there is cheap and skill level also. And next we have this access to sources of the energy. Industries which use more power are located close to the source of energy supply, such as the aluminum industry. you know Aluminum industries use huge quantum of electrical energy. So to manufacture, uh, to process, okay, 1 ton of bauxite ore, we require more than 18,000 kilowatt hour of electrical energy in the case of aluminum industry. Okay. And that is why aluminum industry mainly located nearby the source of the power, that is electricity. Electricity also cannot be transmitted for long distances, because it is also the energy is also decreases with increasing distances if we don't use transformers. And likewise, some other industries, okay, in some other industries, say coal is used as the main source of energy. Okay, maybe thermal power plant or these other metallurgical industries, coal is used as the main source of energy. In such cases, the industry is located nearby the source of the coal. As we discussed earlier, okay, some of the industries uses hydroelectricity or petroleum as the sources of energy. And in such cases also, sometimes the industries are located nearby the source of energy. Okay. Boys and girls, do you have any query? Do you have any question, boys and girls?
No, sir.
Okay, if you don't have questions, then let us continue. Next, we have another important factor, that is access to transportation and communication facilities. So speedy and efficient transport facilities to carry the raw material to the factory and to move the finished goods to the market are essential for the development of industries. Okay, so the cost of transport plays an important role in the location of industrial units. Just remember the least cost theory. Okay, Alfred Weber's triangular model. Western Europe and Eastern North America have a highly developed transport system, which has always induced the concentration industries in these areas. Okay, This Western Europe and North America, Northeastern America. We may see here. Just see here. I think you may be seeing okay here. These area and these area. These are highly industrialized region of the world, and here the transportation system is highly developed. Okay, and like these transportation facilities, communication is also equally important. Okay, see here, communication is also an important need for industries for the exchange and the management of the information. So for example, to sell your products nowadays we need a lot of advertisement. Okay, we have to make known the people about our product. So in the modern days, communication is also equally important, like this transport network. Okay, then next we have government policy. Governments adopt regional policies to promote balanced economic development and hence set up industries in particular areas. So let us consider one example here. Okay, let us say here this is a country, and let us say this area is a backward area. Let us say this is a very backward area, and here there is no natural resources, there is no coal available there, and no other mineral resources are found here, let us suppose. However, if the government wants to have a balanced economic development, okay, here in this backward area, the government may establish an industry here in this area to give employment to the people and to have a balanced economic development with the other part of the country. So this is what I call government policy. And likewise here also, let us say here we have another backward area. Here also the government may establish one industry to develop this particular area, to develop this backward area. And this is what we call government policy. Okay. So resources may not be available in that particular backward area, but to have a balanced economic development, to promote a balanced economic development, the government may establish industries in such areas. Okay. Next, we have access to agglomeration economies or link between industries. So this is another factor influencing the location of the industries. So many industries benefit from the nearness to a leader industry and other industries. And these benefits are termed as agglomeration economies. Okay, savings are derived from the linkages which exist between different industries. Say here, say for example here in this case, here I think you may be seeing these concentric circles. Okay, these concentric circles represent the sphere influence of these particular industry. For example, here we have one industry is here, another industry is here, another one is here, and these circles represent the sphere of influence of this industry. And let's see at the intersection of these circles here. Here we have the three activities here, and if we locate our new industries here in this area, then the transportation cost, then the production cost will be minimized, and this is what we call agglomeration economies. Okay, so let us consider another example. Okay, one more example here. Say let us take the example of say here in this place. So this is a place. Here this is the nodal industry. Let us say this is the leader industry. petrochemical industry. Let us say this is uh, petrochemical industry. Okay, so nearby this petrochemical industry, we may establish another industry, that is synthetic textile industry, because synthetic textile industry use petrochemicals as a raw material. Okay, and likewise here another industries can be established here, that is a plastic industry. So all these industries will be using the raw material from this industry, and if these industries are located here in this area close to each other, the transportation cost will be minimized, the production cost will be minimized, and they are benefiting each other. And this condition is known as agglomeration economies. Here, people working here also say their uniforms, their clothes can be obtained from this particular industry. So in this way, if the industries are concentrated in a particular place, then uh, the production cost, the transportation cost will be minimized, and they are benefiting each other. And such situation is known as agglomeration economies. Okay, so these are the important factors influencing the location of the industries. Up to here, any question, boys and girls? Do you have questions? Okay, if you don't have, then let us read this one. Okay, footloose industries. What are footloose industries, and what are the important characteristics of footloose industries? Footloose industries are the industries which can be located in any place. Okay, can be located anywhere. See here, footloose industries can be located in a wide variety of places. So the factors we discussed above, okay, do not affect the location of these footloose industries. That means footloose industries can be located in a wide variety of places, can be located anywhere on the surface of the earth. These are not affected by the factors influencing industrial locations. These footloose industries are not dependent on any specific raw material, maybe wet lodging or non-wet lodging. Okay, so these footloose industries are not affected by any specific raw material, and these footloose industries largely depend on the component parts which can be obtained from anywhere. They produce in a small quantity. Footloose industries produce in a small quantity, and also employ small labor force. These are generally not polluting industries, eco-friendly industries. Okay, footloose industries are eco-friendly industries. They are not polluting industries, and the important factor in their location is the accessibility by road network. Accessibility by road network is the most important factor, okay, for the footloose industries, because the finished products as well as the raw materials will be transported by the network of transport only. Okay, so we have examples of footloose industries like mobile phone manufacturing, okay, then toy making, then manufacturing of computer chips. So these are some of the examples of the footloose industries. Okay, boys and girls, do you have any other query?
No, sir.
Okay, then for today, let us stop here. Thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.